Welcome to tonight's episode of
Mythic Wyrd.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Chapter 2 of Season 3. We are very excited. If you guys have not seen Chapter 1 or all the previous episodes, go back. They'll be on our YouTube channel and go through and find out what's happened thus far. But to give you a quick recap, Jace has his soul back.
Woo!
Crazy stuff.
Yes,
That's
sir.
basically all that happened. No, I'm joking. There was a lot that happened. It was a really good start to the season, so I highly recommend you guys going back and having a watch.
Chapter 1 encompasses like 3 or 4 days, 1 week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
probably
not
2 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So I think there was a bit of travel in Slovenia.
I think it'd be
So
like
how long
2
have
to
we
3
been away
weeks.
from Nagaroth?
Damn.
You're asking me questions
Yeah.
that take some time to think about.
I think it'd be like 2 weeks.
No, it'd be a little bit longer, I think, because you guys from Nagaroth, you guys travelled.
I'm glad I completely destroyed your intro.
It's been some time. Anyway, it's on our YouTube channel, so go check it out. Leave us comments, likes, all that stuff. It helps us out enormously. Before we get started, Jace.
Aha. Hello. We are live
Whoa.
every Friday between 7 and 8 on Twitch. You can follow us at Mythic_Wyrd. We're on Patreon at Mythic Wyrd with 3 awesome tiers for you to choose from. We're on YouTube at Mythic Wyrd, TikTok at Mythic Wyrd, no spaces, Insta at Mythic_Wyrd, and Spotify at Mythic Wyrd.
We also, if you guys haven't seen, we do have a new episode of What's the Word? That aired last week or the week before. Just kind of talking about the wrap up and the end of Chapter 1 and
Yes.
well, the stuff that happened close to the end of Chapter 1. So go check that out as well. Any questions you guys have for the players or myself, the amazing DM of this group, let us know. And we will.
Before every What's the Word episode, we will have a story on our Instagram where you can send through your questions through a question box as well. So.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So do that. And yeah, let us know what didn't make sense, what you guys want to know, anything like that, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you guys. Going back to socials, if you guys don't want to support us on Patreon, anything like that, the next best way is liking, commenting, sharing all of our stuff, following us on all our socials. It helps us out a ton. Watching our videos, even if you guys aren't watching them, even if you're just having them playing in the background, listening to them. I'm sure most of you guys understand how the algorithm works. It's a big word.
It's good.
But help us out and yeah, any support we do get from you guys from Patreon obviously goes straight into our studio to help improve your viewing experience. So thank you for those who are supporting us. With that all the way, I don't think there is any other news. There is holidays coming up, obviously the Christmas holidays. We do have a few party members leaving because apparently family is more important than D&D, but hey. So we will, over the holidays there will be a few episodes missed, but Drea will update you guys all on socials.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Alright, with that all the way, last we left off.
Dun-dun.
The party all reuniting in the gallery had little time to rejoice at Jace's new life and quickly had to find a way to escape before Heimlich came and essentially wiped you guys out. Working together as best you guys could, you made your way out of the manor, and unfortunately the party got split while you guys were doing that. Silver and Dante got caught up on the inside with Father Bellador, while the rest of you guys made your way out into the oncoming mob that was coming to lynch you guys at the fact that you'd freed their souls and now they were back alive for some reason. Unknown to you guys, you had almost completely broken them. Many of them choosing to take their own lives again instead of living and breathing like a normal human. Most of you successfully made your way out, snuck past the knights that are out in the courtyard, and found yourself dangling off the side of the bridge, shimmying down across the chasm that separated the village and the manor itself. Eventually making your way down and spotting an exit underneath the bridge, which in the form of a stormwater grate. Meanwhile, things were turning bad on the inside as more and more enemies started rushing in, and as Heimlich got closer and closer, the party separated. It all looked like your first big victory in this season was going to come to a quick end. Father Beldor, having full faith in his patron that he would deliver them from this situation, looked up to the heavens and silently prayed for his salvation. And as things turned dire in the last few seconds, the world went black and came back, and you guys were out of the manor and in the sanctuary. Father Belador's prayers have been answered, saving you all from certain death and taking you leagues away, or a few leagues away from the manor itself and out of danger. The first real chance for you guys to all assess yourself and communicate amongst each other. You split off into smaller groups, Father Belador and Jace praying at the altar, kneeling down, praying at the altar. Dante, of course, working fast to put a brew of tea together. Drea, you secluding yourself from the party a little bit. Your wounds still fresh, and the event of it all, the adrenaline and the fear and the pain, obviously all still there. Decided to check on Az and just spend some time by yourself. Silva, you offered to help Drea before you were interrupted by a revelation from Björn, announcing that in fact Griffith, your friend that you bear the arm to, who you thought was dead, is apparently alive. Not knowing how he got this information or anything, you've just been left stunned and left to ponder the clones in the manor, and now this great revelation that Griffith is actually still alive. Björn, you buried trinkets of Skrillex in honor of him falling in battle. You obviously, having spent quite a bit of time with him inside and outside the ether, the only real person really getting to know this curious creature and perhaps truly calling him a friend. Burying his things and taking what looked like could be of use, you moved back to the party and prepared your dome of protection for the night. Daria, you joined Father Belador and Jason prayer, and although not even half hour ago the Tabaski kneeling in front of you was cutting down your friends before you ran him through. Obviously it's a weird, tense situation, but the way Jace has reacted has, although there might have not been any guilt, has freed you of that possibility. You obviously knowing what you've done, and then having Jace have no animosity towards you for I believe that is all that happened. Is there anything anyone would like to add or anything that I have missed?
Sanctuary on sanctuary.
Sanctuary on sanctuary, yes. As you go into a 24-hour praying marathon, you cast
Hello.
Hello from the other side. You cast Hello. And for the first time, ever in all our seasons, you perhaps have a place you can all gather and call home or hideout or base or a spot of operations for you guys. Somewhere where that's protected, somewhere that's secluded, and somewhere that is now marked by...
Can we teleport back here from anywhere? With fast travel?
You haven't unlocked that yet. Alright. With that out all the way, let us dive back to tonight's story.
Can't other people walk in?
No, remember it was in a
Tobacco
There
Valley.
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then the carriage, dude.
there is a road close to it, but you
Yeah,
can't
it's
see
like a
it from the
phantom
road.
carriage.
Yeah.
Very good. Alright, Sigma, give us a portal. Oh crap, we're back.
The dark night above you guys, where once it would be associated with danger, especially in this land of Sylvania, now a few of you watch it lazily as clouds float past and stars poke their head out. It seems like a whole different atmosphere. Tensions are gone. And although you've all suffered greatly in these last few hours, you, in this time and moment, you can feel like you can fully relax, letting down your guard, and for a second in this accursed land, taking a breath. Slowly clouds start to roll in, and a light rain settles upon the camp. The pitter-patter of the small drops bounce off the dome, leaving you guys well protected and cozy on the inside. And perhaps puts in a false sense of security as you all feel yourself, the hours of combat and travel slowly catching up to you, all starting to have that fatigue setting. Father Bellador, determined to give thanks in a fasted prayer. You are now a couple hours into your 24 hours, feeling now the pain starting to settle in, not just from the wounds but from the position that you're in. Knees are sore, your lower back begins to suffer from the weight of your armor and your giant frame. Determined, faith prevailing over that, a lesser man would have got up an hour and a half ago. But determined by what you've seen over these last couple of days, it's easy to subside the pain, push it down, and it's almost glorious to be here. You've participated in prayer many times, but this time you feel such a connection here that it brings a tear to your eye. The world fades around you and the only thing is you on that altar. While Father Bellador is praying, those obviously that are joining him can continue if they wish, or doing your own thing. Is there anything anyone would like to do while this is happening?
I would like to take the magical items and find a secluded place, probably near the mural or near where I bury Skrillex's belongings, and I'll place them all in front of me and sit cross-legged in front of them. And I'm going to trace a 6-pointed star above my heart. And as sort of pull the runes out of the tattoo and read the inscription to kind of identify.
That's awesome. So do you still have to spend the hour with it, or did they identify straight away?
It's 10 minutes
10 minutes, awesome.
each, I would say.
Alright.
Yeah, you choose one object, so.
You find us a secluded spot in kind of the entry corridor of the chapel, and just around the corner you can just glimpse the mound of where Skrillex is buried. You sit down and you pull out a piece of leather, laying it on the dirt before you lay these magical items on top. Leaning back onto the cold stone wall behind you, and as you close your eyes chasing the ruin, you cast it, muttering under your breath. And every 10 minutes, recasting it and moving to the next one. You spend half hour doing this, and I'll tell you what you find in a second. Is there anyone else that's doing anything?
Yeah, I would like to find a small secluded spot and I guess meditate. Yeah.
Okay. What are you hoping to achieve in this meditation?
I'm trying to feel the presence.
Of Griffith? You sit down in a place which once could have been like an area for like a small cupboard or a small pantry, kind of surrounded by 3 walls with just one entry leading out. Although the chapel is in ruins, you all find individual places like this which give that sense of safety with the walls around you. With you back up against the wall and your legs crossed, knees touching either side of this wall, you pull off your flask of sand. And as you kind of study it, turning it around, letting the sand roll from one end to the other, listening to it as it scrapes along the inside, piling up to one side and then the other, you eventually uncork it and start tipping the contents into your hand. Sand, as expected, runs brown and fine through your fingers, and you can swear you can still feel the warmth of the blazing sun in Arabia on top of it. Every now and then you spot a granule or a few small granules clumped together, stained in a deep, deep scarlet. And as you pour it through, it runs through your fingers onto a small cloth that you've put on your lap. And as it runs through, piling up, you kind of get lost in the motion, putting it back in your bottle, swirling it around, pouring it back out. Every time it's a different pattern. Sometimes you see no blood at all. Sometimes you swear that all of the sands have a tint of scarlet on them. And eventually you find yourself lost in thought. I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Thank you.
Damn.
What's everyone else doing?
any rubble or stone nearby, Ray's just gonna try and get some herbs and stuff from her pack and almost like grind them together to make a small medicinal balm. Just gonna apply them to Azra's eyes, and then if there's any remaining balm, like apply it to herself.
Okay. You set up a small workstation, one for grinding, one for filtering, stems and stuff stuff like that out, and on the next kind of half hour to 45 minutes, you put together a balm. Az has stirred kind of during your work and seems to want to get out a little bit, and you pull him off, and as he kind of blindly turns around in your hand, reaching out with one arm, seeing if there's a ledge there or anything, you eventually put him close to one of the pillars that have fallen that you're kind of using as a table. And as he gingerly kind of finds his footing and makes his way across it, you can see him lifting his head and without eyes using his smell to kind of see what's going on. Eventually after a few kind of fumbled, failed steps and a few close calls of him almost falling off the edge, he squeaks out to you, and as he does, reaching out his hand again, blindly kind of trying to feel for your fingers, climbing back onto your hand, and as you go to pull him back, he squeaks again and kind of like sniffs up at your face, and as you lift him up, he slowly puts a hand on your shoulder, climbing up, before he tucks himself between your neck and your hair, and just kind of curls up, and it's a common spot for him to kind of just sit there and watch what you're doing. A spot that brings him comfort, and he does sit there, but out the corner of your eye, you can just see him staring out into oblivion as he kind of, at every sound of grinding or you putting something down, just like moves his head, like trying to figure out what's going on, and just spends the next kind of 45 minutes just on your shoulder there, just staring out as you work, just comforted by his safe spot.
Yeah.
Alright. What's Dario and Jace doing?
Dara's gonna get up. He wants to take off his cloak and put it over Father Bell, and then he's going to do a perimeter check on the church. And if he sees any animals, he wants to try and hunt them for food.
Okay, awesome. Give me a survival check.
Jason's gonna stick with Father Bell for about 10 minutes. And then around the end of it, he's just gonna say, alright, do we stop?
Father Bell can do it. Probably will just put a hand on your shoulder. Yeah, like slowly help you up.
Better than what Dad would have done.
I'm good to go. Thanks, Sigma. He's gonna turn around, walk outside from where the Sigma statue is. He's gonna walk over to Dante, grab some tea. And he's pretty much just gonna scull the whole cup. It's hot! Oh shit, that's hot! Oh, tea's good. Oh, I haven't tasted tea in so long. Holy shit. Can I have another cup?
Oh, nephew, you gotta go easy, man. Like, secret recipe between you and your mother. Sometimes we don't only put tea leaves in there, Like,
So that's why it tastes so good.
it's about to feel real good, nephew, as well.
I feel so alive!
Shh. What? There's things around and um, like I'm glad you're back, nephew. That's it's good.
Yeah, me too. You're coming back, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Hmm.
Do you know how to tailor?
No, that you know, like your mother was like always good at that, and your dad, and like you know, Dante's just good at killing stuff, nephew. Like
Bullshit. It's in the Chevere blood.
you think I can do it though?
Yeah. I think so. Easy peasy. I mean, you're a wielder of Ichor. I'm sure you can make a jacket.
These hands are too rough for needles, nephew. Like
Well, with that attitude, you're not going to get anywhere, are you? Jeez.
cheers.
What's for tea? He just says openly.
The dome doesn't block sound, right? Okay. That call, what'd you get?
An 8.
An 8. You hear the thud of Dario's bow being released before a quick squeal.
I thought there wasn't any game in Slovenia.
There isn't.
But there was that weird person who was like a girl and then
You
Animal
hunted that
and
thing.
then
You're welcome.
and they were in the trenches on the front lines. That's what I
Right.
saw.
Dario, as you loose your arrow at what you suspect to be a fairly scrawny and malnourished rabbit, it squeals as your arrow passes straight through, ricocheting off the ground and landing into one of the trees. Confident that it's a killing shot with the broad head that size and the shot placement, you walk up kind of without questioning yourself to go retrieve your kill. The creature gets back up after squirming, looks at you with red beady eyes, and with the strength of a creature twice its size, bounds into the forest. The only creatures that you have seen frequent the plain of Slovenia. One time on that road with Father Bellador, that deer, that disfigured creature, twisted and demonic, and he quickly reminded that although perhaps the feeling of safety has settled on you in the sanctuary, still outside of that small area, out of those thin walls, it's a dangerous, barren land that you guys are treading in. Other than that, if you spend an hour or so hunting, you find a few dried, like crusty berries that you're not too sure you want to eat, and any kind of any nut or anything that you do find flakes in your hands, and as it cracks open, you can see sacks of little spider eggs as little spiders just start to crawl out of it, leaving their silk and their web all over your hands before you kind of toss it to the ground. Unless you guys have any rations left, you will be going to bed hungry.
You guys have food, right? I mean, I didn't need to eat, but like, now I'm alive. I'm kind of hungry. Hello? He's gonna walk over to the closest person to him.
Other than Dante?
Yeah.
Do we actually have food though?
We took from the start. Emily Demeter gave us rations, but I'm not sure over
Silver
the
always
period
has
if they would
food.
have. lasted?
It hasn't been that many days, so yeah, they would still be edible. Perhaps even though probably getting closer to the expiry date, that would be edible.
On my return, I would have recovered my pack and a hack.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if I have any rations, but
So
if
I think
did,
there was a ration packed for each of you.
Hey, Red. You got any nibbles?
What do I have in my ration bag? I'll have a look.
So as you open it up, Lady De Winter has got her ladies to pack dry sausages, cheese, crackers, some nut, like a trail mix, and some small pieces of fruit, like small apricots, a handful of grapes and things like that. You could easily split it in half and still have a good meal.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be like, I'll lay it out and split it. That's your share. But
Mm.
don't eat too fast. I don't know if you remember what that's like, but it's like indigestion and stuff. Sort of thing.
I'll be fine.
God damn it. We should see what the others have for rations as well. See how long we last here.
Yeah, get some variety. I like it.
How's
How's
you down for the job?
Oh, you're not. Oh,
I mean, half of my drawer is ripped out.
anyway,
Mm.
how's it? Are you okay?
Watch your back, Jess.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. We both know that wasn't me, right?
True. I was making a drink.
Right, cool.
you guys hear a stomach rumbling very close by. And Fiona would have made his way over. Do you mind if I have some?
Go for it.
Where are you from?
You said there was something other than meat?
Yeah, cheese, crackers, a trail
Oh.
mix, and some fruit.
Cool. I compete with Jace on how fast we eat this food.
Boy! Can I get some more? I've already eaten some. So we have an equal start.
No. This is my share. Have Azra to feed as well.
Shit.
The smell of grapes and fruit as has already kind of started trying to make his way down your chest, every now and then getting caught in a buckle, and you kind of have to like slow him down as you like take his claws out of a buckle and before eventually bringing a grape to him, and faster than Jace or Björn, the whole grape just disappears down his mouth
I
before
imagine
he starts.
he's so skinny, it's like a
You
steak.
see it.
Yeah.
I also have this. I don't know if it's still any good. Just pulling out whatever I have in my patch.
Pulls out the human from
Like holding it. Yeah, so it looks like everything.
You would have the same ration that Dre would have, that Lady Winter packed.
I wrap it up though because I can wrap it and put it in the centre so everyone can give it.
But we don't know how long we'll be here, so I think we should save some aside for at least tomorrow morning.
Agreed.
I put some aside.
You go to put some aside, and you can see a quarter of the dried sausage is already through Azra's mouth as if he's choking on it. Like this thing, the thickness on this thing would be the same size as him. As he just starts choking on it, kind of, and like without kind of seeing what he's eating, he's just trying to grab it and pull it out before he like finally gets it out, dumps it to the side. It's all like covered in like mucus and stuff at the top before he like pats around, gets a feeling of an almond and kind of picks that up and makes his way back up on your shoulder before dropping it and kind of trying to find his way back down before I'm sure we'll probably pick it up and pick him up and
Can I break the sausage into small pieces for him and then like guide it to his mouth?
yeah.
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 Gross.
Alright. So going back to your role, the Greaves themselves are magical greaves, obviously, +2 to your AC.
Dang!
Whenever you don't move.
So if you don't move in your turn,
If you don't move in your turn, it's +2 to your AC.
That's cool.
These
Does that include being in the ether? Because technically he's physically not moving.
no,
Technically.
you and your technicalities.
can I have a pen, please, or a pencil? My stuff's going up. Thank you.
I'll get you the like I said, I've got them all on my phone, so I'll send them to you. The sword. We'll go to the daggers first. The daggers themselves are an odd pair. So you can see one is bone, one is steel, correct. And after, perhaps out of all of them, that is the most interesting or the most unique. And after spending 10 minutes with it, you inscribed on the side of both of them the bone dagger in a kind of like a crude elvish language has famine on it, and the other one, and the steel dagger, has feast on it.
Oh, what?
And they are magical weapons, both +1. When you're wielding both, you have to be wielding both, and they have a really cool ability, which will just be easier if I just send it to you. The sword, make an arcane check for me on the sword. Oh wait, what does identify do exactly? Identifies.
I shall explain this to you, DM, who does not know the spells.
Bjorn dies.
You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has. If any, you learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. And I can also touch a creature instead.
Whoa. That's cool.
That's really cool.
To learn
Okay, the sword itself, you confused by some of its properties, you actually take a second to peer into the ether while looking at the sword. You can sense that it's almost living, but you can't deduce some of its aspects. However, when you peer into the ether, you can in fact see that the sword has a soul.
Wow.
That's
cool.
And the soul itself is that of a vampire.
Oh shit! So like
and the
when I
blade-
peer into the ether, do I just see this vampire chilling next to it? Or?
Hey boy.
You see him. You see it in the sword. You don't see him physically, but you can see the aspect of him in the sword. And the sword itself is linked directly to him, and he is in fact the maker of the blade.
Oh.
And he has been killed with that blade.
Whoa, that's rough.
So
And then I'll send you the rest of the details after.
Okay.
That's cool.
That was-
Yes, it is. You can deduce that.
What sort of sword was it?
A long sword.
Long?
Yep.
Oh, right, great.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it is a great sword. Sorry.
Damn, that's cool.
That's very cool.
Silver.
I got a 10 on the wisdom check.
Okay. Memories of perhaps a better time, or a simpler time at least, come flowing back to you. And as the sand flows through your fingers, you remember a time where it was just sand and steel. Although brutal, it was easy and you understood it. You reach out to your friend. And as you kind of focus through the sands, focus on your memories of him and what you know of him, and kind of bring that
Familiaration.
Thank you, to the surface.
You're doing great today.
I am tired, guys. It helps it helps focus on him more, right? During your time, you can just feel him. And although he doesn't speak to you, it's as if in this moment he is purposely avoiding you, just staying outside of your reach. Perhaps because he feels it's too soon to answer the questions that are running through your mind.
Shit.
A sense of betrayal almost comes across. Not the feeling of anger, but the feeling of betrayal. Like, wait, did I even know you? Like, we were friends, we were blood brothers. We fought on the sand together, and now perhaps when I need you most, not to cover my back, but just to help me make life simple again, he's avoiding you. And as that thought that betrayal passes your mind, the words of Dante kind of come back at the time he was describing what had happened and how Griffith cleared your memory. Not because he didn't trust you, but because of the love that he bore for you, and the fact that he believed that was the only way to protect you. And as that frustration kind of dies away, although perhaps still a little annoyed, you do know him well enough that if you can link these two situations together, he believes he's doing the right thing to protect you. Whether that still frustrates you or angers you, that's up to you to decide.
Okay. I'm gonna sit here and ponder with my thoughts for a while.
Okay. Dario, as you return empty-handed, I presume you also pull out your rations and try to rejuvenate and tend to yourself.
Can I actually, with my rations, get some of the trail mix and fruit, give them to Bjorn, cut some of like my food, like the sausages, like in thirds, give a third to like Drea and Azra, and then I'll go sit with someone and just eat my
Finish the rest. Okay, easy.
Are you finally going on that diet then?
and I'm just saving on the best for me.
Alright.
As night slowly turns into dawn, knowing that you guys have, Father Bell at least is staying here 24 hours, is the party looking to get somewhere and to sleep, or
Yeah, Jace falls flat.
after
the feed, he just falls flat.
What time did we get to the sanctuary roughly?
It would be like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Cool.
And after you guys kind of settled in, a couple of hours, around 5 o'clock, Jace, you're pretty much out straight away. But it's now approaching dawn.
How safe are we feeling?
Surprisingly, you have not seen one sign of danger, and although you know that Octoya frequent the skies of Sylvania, you have not seen one in these few hours that you've been out.
And the time's up.
And the time is up. So, would the party like to retire, or
Yes.
is there anything?
Before I retire, I'd like to step out, eat some rations, check if this ground has been occupied while we were gone, if I could determine that. I know the blood of Ica was chasing us before we ventured forth, and if I can locate a tree where it's close to the camp to climb up and just view the area.
Okay, yep. Make a choice of perception or survival.
Drea will like try to not fall asleep as hard as she can, considering the last few times she's fallen asleep what's happened. But obviously I know with the exhaustion and stuff she will end up sleeping. And I'm like, she's probably like
Try and put it off as
count
long
the
as you
stars
can.
or something.
Yeah, yeah. You do your best to avoid comfort to keep you awake and find any distraction, but soon enough as the comfort and the warmth and the exhaustion settles in, coupled by Az's welcomed snoring, you find yourself kind of putting your cheek against his head, and as he rumbles in your ear, you pass into a very, very, very deep and restful sleep.
5.
You scout the area around the tomb, again keeping in mind that it's well hidden, secluded in a valley. Making your way kind of to the top of the rocky outcrops, you have a look around, and although like the animals and everything else in Slovenia, the trees are dead, you do find one that's suitable enough to hold your weight. You can spot the road from where you are here, and although you spot no immediate tracks or trampled grass or any movement or anything like that, how long did you want to spend out there first?
Can I see Malcolm's tower from here?
You can.
At least an hour.
Alright. In the hour that you spend out there, you see no immediate sign of danger. Yet on the quite a distance away, on the opposite side of Malika's tower, you see in the distance, every now and then, broken up by the trees that are on the road, a lone rider riding hard through the night. His cape flapping behind him, his hood over his head. He's quite a distance away, posing no immediate danger. But from the glints of the faint moonlight, you give me a perception check actually.
Is he heading this way?
No, he's heading kind of parallel to you guys, and he's quite a distance away. He looks closer to the front line.
9.
A
Oh,
9?
not so bad.
The from what you can gather, you believe it to be an Imperial trooper, and you just put it down to perhaps a messenger or a scout trying to get back to the front line.
Can I just focus on it for a little bit? Is he... Because I've seen the rider that was following us before, black hooded. Can I determine if...
With this distance, it's way too hard.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a small silhouette on the road,
Gotcha.
hidden by trees and things like that, and you only get glimpses of him as he kind of moves through field of view before disappearing behind a hill.
How dense is the forest?
It's the road that he's on. It's just kind of lined by trees, and it's fairly thin as the trees are kind of dead. Their long grey limbs stretching out, with no leaves or anything like that. So it's quite thin as it is in most of Sylvania, with only really kind of pockets of actual thick forest.
If I cast my echo,
Mhm.
would that be enough? Could I like hide myself as I send my echo out? Like,
You can, but like you don't think you have any chance of being spotted where you are. Like he's quite a distance away.
okay,
Yeah, you can just spot him because he's on the road moving, and you can just spot him as a black small silhouette moving
I
between
see.
trees.
I'd like to get down then.
And retire for the night as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Björn Dario?
Mhm.
Yep. Find somewhere to sleep for the night. Alright. If you guys would like to do a long rest, going from 3, so that puts you at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
How long rest working on? Before you were doing it?
It's been so long.
Oh, no, what were you doing something different?
We just recovered 1 exhaustion, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the only difference.
Well,
You
we
can
don't-
spend
And all your spell slots and everything, and
Oh,
spelling your
half,
dice.
yeah.
But no.
No, do I be doing something different?
Oh yeah, that's right.
everything's halved
For now, just do it full. Just do it full.
But we don't recover HP, right?
You do recover 4 HP.
Cool.
I'm sure everyone is, yeah?
So sorry, we went to bed at 3 p.m.
3 a.m.
Oh, 3 a.m.
Father Belt, in that time, I need you to make 2 exhaustion rolls for me. 2 con saving throws. Yeah.
You got this far to go.
Yeah.
You're the man.
At 20 for the first one.
Oh.
So 29.
The faith is strong in this one.
29.
That's
And
all
13 for the next one.
Again, any lesser man would have gotten up straight away, and you're now past the point where that pain is screaming at you. It's numb and it's completely forgotten about. Furthermore, in your kind of zealous, glorious state that you're in, wide awake and like you feel like you have, like just rested and nothing seems to be taking effect on you. And as the sun rises behind the clouds, you feel more rejuvenated than ever. And as part of that natural 20, you can complete a long rest as well.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Voice.
You all kind of come to a waking, kind of groggy. Well, not quite groggy, feeling quite refreshed actually. You're not sure if it's because of the dome or because of the sanctuary that Father Bell's putting down, but you've all had quite a good sleep, and all around 11 o'clock, kind of 10:30 to 11:30, you all slowly rise to find Father Bell still in prayer, and Dante still at his small campfire brewing another pot of tea. Not even sure if he slept.
Is
Can
he
I
pissed?
Pissed, he looks spaced out, but happy.
That's all that matters.
So, with my 24-hour prayer, Father Bell's actually going to have his tomb there, and he's literally reading it cover to cover.
Holy moly. Yeah.
But would you allow me to do things while I recite the prayers?
Depends like what are you thinking?
I just want to try and restore the area and build it up, and there's a spell that I would like to cast.
Yeah, look, with that cons throw, you can go ahead and cast it.
Awesome. So, when you guys wake up, the statue's going to look a bit different. So Father Bell's going to, when he gets the chapters that he knows, and he's committed to memory, he's going to read them while he works. He's going to repair the statue and the area around. And you see 2 stone bowls to either side of Sigma on these small pillars, and they are full of food and water.
What?
You said repair, not friggin' farm.
So you create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water,
Jeez.
Whoa!
Holy crap!
Sigma be bountiful.
Yeah.
enough to sustain up to
Sigma the
50
chef.
humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. The water is clean and doesn't go bad.
You said the food is bland,
But
so
nourishing.
tasteless.
Like chicken with no seasoning.
Yeah. It's
It's
not a feast. It's
Yeah.
it's food from Athos. It's narrow.
Doesn't have a season.
Cat
No, he was a
food.
good cook.
Yeah.
Cat food.
and if sorry, I'm assuming it's okay, but I've got this, so that's what I want to use to do the statue and stuff.
Yeah,
Alright.
easy. Yeah.
Cool.
So as you guys all wake, refreshed, you find Father Bell kind of just settling back in kneeling position. The statue rejuvenated, cleaned of moss, and once again whole. The area around it cleaned from debris and twigs, and looks like it's been swept, revealing a patterned tile underneath the statue. And once dead weeds and overgrown hedges around it are now trimmed and well kept, and even inside of the church where there was kind of weeds breaking through the tiles, you can see now the beautiful sprouts of small flowers and grass making their way where once there was death and decay, now replaced with something more that you're used to. Furthermore, bowl on the left full of fruit and nuts, while the bowl on the right full of beautiful, pristine, clear water, enough for you to all have your fill of and, wash up or whatever you choose to do with the remainder. As you guys kind of all get up to a new day, there's a feeling of not that you're lost, but where do we go from here? And you all wake with that question on your mind. Jace, now having his soul recovered again, suddenly, because that was such a big focus and now it's done, suddenly brings back all the problems and issues that had been put to the side while this happened. Your father, your brother, the state of Ostenmark, the state of Nagaroth, the state of Ostenmark itself, and then on top of all that, the state of the Everchosen.
Jace is gonna have the biggest sleeping ever.
Okay.
Unless someone wakes him.
Did Sigma bless us with any coffee beans?
Dante gives you a he kind of just looks through you, his eyes wide, bloodshot, a smile that's almost frozen on his face, and he just holds you up with a cup of steaming tea.
That's it. Why you guys still staring at me? Do you want to keep drinking?
Yes.
Good sound effects.
Alright.
I know you guys are looking at me.
I grab some fruit for me. I grab some fruit for Azrael. Who's awake?
Everyone but
Oh,
Jace.
Everyone but
If
Jace?
he's
Okay.
asleep, yeah.
Are we all kind of huddled around the fruit and water?
I'm gonna go wake up Jace. He's gotta see this. A kid that hasn't eaten. Jace.
No. Oh no.
Jace. Wake up. Okay.
I'm trying to
I've
sleep.
got.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a plate of food And well, is it just fruit? Anything that smells nice?
It's all bland, so it's all kind of fruit, dried nuts.
Nothing cooked, sort of.
Yeah,
thing. It's just-
you know, and nothing warm and nothing
Yeah.
intriguing. Although at the moment, it's probably all quite intriguing to you guys.
Watermelon?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm grab a piece of watermelon and see if I can wake him up with that scent.
Jace is just gonna like, you know, like cats with like a ball of yarn. He's just gonna. Have that. Can I have it?
Before you fall back to sleep, as you reach up for it, something hits you in your loins, and you, for the longest time ever, remember that nature calls, and you're gonna take a piss. And as you kind of like just reaching out for it, your eyes snap open, as you kind of squeeze your gut, holding your bladder.
Oh shit.
And like, first of all, confused at what's going on. At the last second, you squeeze your bladder, jumping to your feet.
Ah, I got this, Silver! Silver, where's the tree? This is gonna run off to
Where's the tree? Where the forest?
As it's running, he's just gonna start and see if he can go behind the tree.
You don't even make it behind the tree, with your pants around your knees. You just make it to a tree with your butt facing the rest of the crew, as in the cold morning, you don't even release it. It's coming out, and it's, you guys can just hear a long before
Pissing's great.
before you hear the splash, and then the steam of it just rising up from the tree, melding into the fog around him before it stops, goes again, stops, goes again for longer now,
Oh my god.
and stops, goes, and then you hear the pants being put up, put down, couple more drips, and then he's good.
Can I have that watermelon?
Jesus, kid. And he gives them some. When's the last time you took a piss?
Just them. Whew. Glad to see everyone's awake. Team?
Do I know how long Jeff has been dead? Has he ever said?
No, I don't think you've disclosed enough.
So, breakfast.
Did you wash your hands before
Oh
eating
shit, I gotta wash my hands.
Shouldn't be touching your face either.
I ate that watermelon. Shit. Do we have water?
that? Prestidigitation. Here. I'll just clean off. Did you need me to wipe your ass as well? Or you remember how to do that?
I haven't had the shit yet, but maybe. I'll keep you posted. So yeah. What's going on, guys? Ready for a big day?
What though?
Yeah.
What is our plan?
That's a good question.
Or maybe I should ask what is everyone's plan?
Alright. Team meeting. Everyone get in a circle. Dante, you got some tea?
You look over to where Dante is, and still
Good
cross-legged,
enough for it
he has fallen on his back. His legs still like crossed, and he's just staring at the sky.
You got it. Alright. I'll start. I want to go back with Dante and see my parents. And I'm hoping that you guys will come too.
Alright.
See your parents.
Yeah. See my parents, and
Where were they again?
Start.
start.
What's the start?
Lady to Winter
Oh.
Estate.
Yeah. Right.
You know, come back and then I don't know if you guys have stuff to do in like Ostermark or something, but you can like come with us. You can have some tea, make some clothes. It'd be great. That's what I think anyway. Silver, you're next in the circle. Good.
I think that's a terrific idea for you to go back. But I have unfinished business.
You're not coming.
I think it's time for us to part ways, Jace.
What? You're meant to be like the captain of the Weirdest of Icor, and everybody else hates you, so you might as well stick with us, right?
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, they were literally trying to kill us. There was the quick punching guy.
You know, I've been thinking a lot lately, and I was a captain once. I don't know who that man was. I don't know who I am now. And I don't deserve to be a captain.
Alright, won't call you captain then, but come home, have some tea, see Doris, Kathy, and then the Weirdest of Icor can be a club again.
Here's the reality. We escaped Heimlich for now. But he won't simply just turn away after what we did. He'll be after us. He'll be after you.
Hmm.
He knows about you. And we've seen his power affect not only Slovenia but what's that city called? Nagorov as well. He's cooking something. It's big. And sooner or later we'll have to face him. Regardless of which path we take.
He knows about me. Is there anything you've learned? Who was that man? Well, that you killed. The deed is done, I believe you said.
Right. It was you.
I know.
Or at least a version of you.
He was pretty fucked.
No.
He was like you, but like a lot worse.
He's cloning you. You already know this.
Yes, but
He must be putting some sort of force together. Using maybe your missing arm as a source of cloning soldiers. Like that and using the undead. Whatever he's planning, it's big.
Hmm.
He's not just doing it for fun, I can tell you that much.
Hmm.
And I think it affects all of us and affects your home.
I guess it's just, what do we do first, right? Heimlich's that way. Nagarov's that way.
sorry, just is the Citadel Nagoroth?
Yeah, the capital of Ostermark is Nagorov.
So we either, I mean, based on what you've said, your vote is either to go straight to Heimlich before he gets too crazy?
Not quite. I think he was imposing that if we head to Nagoroth, he will follow. And if he goes into Nagoroth, into the Citadel, much chaos could have happened to the Citadel people.
I think, for now, yes, we see your parents. And I'd love to be able to send you on your way. To enjoy a simpler life. Alive, this time. But I think in reality, Heimlich will want to take back what he thinks he owns.
I mean,
Why is he?
I'm just one kid.
Yeah, he's right. Why is he so possessive over his soul?
Well,
I mean,
must be some reason why you kept your body animated all this time.
So we have Jace's soul in one hand. My clones.
Your city.
What is the missing piece?
Motive.
how about you, Red? You're next in the circle. Beyond kind of skipped, but I'll let it pass.
I mean, I was thinking to go to the star as well. But regardless, I think it would be a good source of information. I mean, Lady didn't even mention time link. Maybe she knows something that would help us. How do you even defeat an Equinoxa that
Right.
powerful? We clearly
So all we need is more information.
need something.
See your parents.
Get information.
Get information.
Might all be connected, like you said. Even your father, your brother. I feel like it's a chessboard and we're all pieces on it. Somehow.
Either that, or we're the Joker in a deck.
You look like one.
Minex. The puncher guy nephew. His name's Minex.
Thanks, Dante. How you going with that tea? Thanks.
Now, I know he's bruised. What did he put in the tea?
Wheat?
Some kind of illegal herb, yeah.
Alright, Dario, you're next in the circle.
Well, as much as I'd love to go back and see Kathy and Doris, I have to go rescue my father, and then hopefully be able to return home.
Do we all know about that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit.
That's
It's been a long time for me.
Keeping in mind as well, just a refresher for you guys, there's a warrant for arrest for Father Bellador and his hammer guard, which who knows what's happened in that. There is also a warrant of arrest for Dario as well, for being the head of the riots.
Right, so your father's captured and your brother wants your head.
typical family drama.
Yeah. Where's your father again?
Is it Melikos Tower? Melikos Tower.
Heimlich again.
Yes.
Is Malchus Tower like on the way towards Megalith?
Yeah.
How far is it?
Past it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have, sorry, yeah. So it'd be back the other way in Slovenia. You guys are between the front line and Malchus Tower at the moment.
How far is it from here?
Oh, half a day.
And do you know anything of a Lord Devage? Or a, what's his name again?
Manfred von Cast.
Or Manfred von Cast.
Do I know anything?
Give me a history check.
That is.
Advantage on take feet on dead.
Aye.
Sure.
See, you always gotta say it.
Ah! That was worse anyway. 18.
You do have some knowledge of what you've read through books and your father's work and the library of your home. What's it called again?
Dillinger.
Dillinger, sorry.
Right.
Manfred Manfred von Carstein you know of is obviously the son of Vlad von Carstein, having been rumoured to have either died or fled Slovenia, but way back during the Vampire Wars, when his father was killed. You're not sure, although Father Bellador has heard rumours of his return. You haven't been privy to those rumours.
Manfred's return.
That Manfred's return to claim his rightful seat. And Lord Duvage from, what'd you get in 18?
Correct.
He is Manfred's, one of Manfred's right-hand men. So
Even from way back.
even from way back. Calling themselves the Crimson Court, a allegiance of some of the strongest vampires, pledging themselves to Manfred as the elector count of Slovenia. Now, however, you know, again through your history books, there are several of these courts, if you would call it, all vying for complete ownership of Slovenia. Thus, it has been for many years. After Vlad, it's always been either small bands fighting each other into a big political game of separate rivals and strong families in a political game of chess. But now, with a key player having returned to Slovenia, things are definitely going to get very interesting.
Alright, that was a lot, so I'm just gonna say that I generally explain what you just said, of my knowledge. So you're saying Manfred has returned? You know this for certain?
I believe so. Lord Devar showed up when me and Father Bell came. Yeah, when we go there.
Correct.
And
Are they allied with Heinrich?
Well, Emily de Winter did call Heinrich Manfred's dog. If they are working together, if he has returned, then it would make sense for him to have your father. If he wanted the throne, the elector count,
Then he
take
wants
over
to.
the city.
He wants to complete his father's work, which you can still call it his father's work, because he wanted to overtake his father, didn't he?
Correct. Every vampire is
Yeah.
ambitious as ever, and from what you know of your great-grandfather Ragnar trying to stop the blood curse, there were many who opposed that, Manfred being a key player during that time. He saw it not as a weakness or something to be ashamed of, but something they should bear proudly.
Then that must be it. Manfred is uniting Slovenia and acquiring any power he can to cross the borders and slowly but surely drain the empire.
There are two things. It's been a while, so I remind you guys, two things that you're missing.
Sorry.
What else? No, that's alright. What else has happened at the start?
Emily
Green
doing
Moon.
the
Remember.
wanted
The
to
green
resurrect.
moon thing.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
only
Norslip.
that,
Emily.
not only that,
Emily de Winter. I know that she wanted to resurrect her
Oh, she's
father.
got Vlad.
who
By-
you saw,
Yeah.
you saw.
Yeah, and then they need the blood of Björn to
Yeah.
resurrect
You saw her
him.
mother and father. Father's supposed to be under the Grand Temple in Altdorf.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Who knows that information?
Oh,
by
Emily
the way?
is Manfred's sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
I'm like
good.
besties with her, so I don't want to like. spoil
oh
the
yeah, correct.
secrets.
Sorry, that's something only Dre knows.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're the only one who's seen Father Bell. You know that it's obviously gone missing from there.
Yeah.
And you've been tasked by the Inquisition to find out, because obviously Manfred's come back. The second thing that has just poofed my mind. What's the second thing? You guys remind me.
At the start.
Yeah, poof, you
No,
know.
there's
Is it the Bjorn thing?
no. Oh, that's right. What have you guys seen of? Currently, you guys have been led to believe, or do believe, that Tommen is in allegiance with
Mhm.
Manfred.
Yes.
What else
He's-
did we see?
He's
On the chaos
using
state.
chaos. and chaos and
Yeah.
So,
necro
like,
stuff
yeah.
going on.
Why?
Hence, perhaps the invitation to the rightful heir.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit. Oh shit.
It's been a while, I know.
Yeah.
And you know, my word's so detailed.
I'm like looking through my notes like a maniac.
Yeah.
And I'll basically repeat what Ames just said.
So, where to begin?
Wait, are you going to reveal the information about Emily de Winter, or are you going to
Oh
keep
man,
that?
that's my bestie.
So
I'm gonna throw my friends under the bus.
two opposing forces. We are smack bang in the middle.
And who is Tommen playing? Is he playing them both? Is he playing Manfred, or is he playing the forces
He's
of chaos?
smart.
But you can, Dario being,
Can we
although
map
not
this out?
recently,
This is a lot.
Let's
not
map this out.
recently,
Someone needs to write this down.
you know, well, that's what your notepads are for, guys. not equipped to the political game these last few years. He would still be smart enough once you remember all this that why is Manfred reaching out to me instead of the person who is currently holding power? Has he heard that Tommen is perhaps playing him and is now reaching out for other allies?
Oh, that's so smart. Okay, let me write that down.
What then?
That's next up. You guys want to knock it up?
Yes.
So,
With
does
that,
Okay.
go on.
so if Tommen is in Malika's tower, does that mean
Tommen
that
isn't there.
Tommen's in Malika's tower?
Tommen's in Negra.
Oh, in Negra.
The dad might text us over.
And I'm assuming that's by Tommen's. Then that means that the blood of Ico is under Tommen.
Correct.
So I'm confused. Does Heimlich and Manfred work together or not?
Just keep it separate to the other ones, please.
Does anyone actually know?
This one?
And after everything that's happened, would Manfred's invitation still stand?
Well,
You would probably be best to answer that knowing vampires in general, but especially the Von Carstein bloodline, is a proud family.
in saying that, we did tell him that we had
Right,
something. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had something to complete first.
Mhm.
Because Dara said he's a man of his word.
Correct.
Alright, your turn's been going on for way too long. Pops! What do you want to do?
Has he finished praying?
They just hear him turn a page in a moment's silence before he picks up again.
Did you sleep? Do I have to do that?
He just continues praying.
Thank you for your input. So, Jace grabs a stick and starts doing that. So these are sort of our options. Yeah.
Well,
Let's not forget about your dad as well, and the end of the world.
correct.
Yeah.
And to perhaps simplify it for you guys, what do you guys maybe decide what you want to achieve first? Are we planning to get Dario back on the seat, or at least Dario's father back on the seat? And that'll hopefully help you guide through this political game. Which,
Remembering that you and I.
you know, if it's a little bit confusing, I apologize about that.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
So
very
good.
good.
It's intricate.
Holy moly.
Alright.
You said. Oh.
There's something missing as well that only Silver really knows.
No, and then it's the Eye of Assurance as well.
Exactly.
Was I just
Which is
about
at
to
Malika's
write?
tower.
I haven't seen what it says.
How about
Why would he?
we take a quick break here while the party figures out what they want to do, and we'll be back in 10 minutes to continue this political game. See you guys soon.
See you soon.
How do you spell
And welcome back. Alright. Facts have been checked, memories have been jolted. And we are back now with the party. And you guys can't see it, but on the board,
Mind facts.
yeah. Yeah, a very intense map of the political game going on in chapter 2. Obviously, sorry.
I think we're more confused than before, to be honest. There's so much going
No,
on.
if you follow it, it makes sense.
Alright.
Who thought?
So still around in the group, between Father Ballador on one side praying at the altar, Dante stoned out at his little fire. The group is in a tight circle, drawing graphs on the ground, flicking through notebooks, pacing the old sanctuary, trying to piece everything together. And that's where we pick up.
Alright. Your vote, Dario.
I believe I speak for myself and Father Bell when I say I plan to head to Malacos Tower.
Mm-hmm. Your vote, yeah.
Perhaps it's up to you, but yeah, I know we did this kind of in the break, but an explanation of why.
So let me get this straight. One more time, I promise. So, your dad is trapped in Malacus Tower. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm. The Wilders of Ica are there,
Yep.
and they're employed by Tommen,
Yep.
who is also the flag commander.
Yes.
Which, yes, no, because he got the warp stone that's at Malacus Tower too.
Okay.
So what is he doing with it?
And is that not where Heimlich is as well?
Yes. Here.
With potentially the clones of Silver.
When I woke up, was there that? No, this-
It all matches up.
The clone vision that you saw? No, you don't know.
I don't
just, yeah, you wouldn't
And
know.
hear me out. There was one of your clones at the Black Mace fighting, wasn't there? There was. You saw him.
I did.
Okay, so let's say that that was one of the ones that Heimlich made. Why is he being employed by Tom to fight? How does that connect?
They're working together?
To do what though?
Hmm.
Or maybe he wasn't under Thomas' employment.
Then who's employment?
Maybe Heimlich sent him there to spy. Just throwing it out there.
Alright. So that's one option. The other option is you spoke to Dushva?
Lord
Lord
Devarge.
Devarge?
Dushva. That's the one.
Lord D.
So so what, you wanna talk to him as potentially an option?
There's potentially an option, but further down the track.
Don't forget your wanted men, Dario. Although I know that this Lady Delinto seems like good people.
Alright.
Also, if Heimlich has your father, then also Manfred,
Hmm.
then has your father.
And if they're working together, also Tommen.
But
Just
I
catching on.
think Tommen is playing two sides.
I just want to clarify, Heimlich isn't at
Yeah, we don't.
at Malacus Tower.
Yeah.
That's currently occupied by the Wilders of Icor. Who?
Isn't that his domain though?
No, his domain is the manor.
The manor.
Yeah. Then you're certain the Wilders of Icor are directly employed by Tommen.
Is that manor just referred to as the peak?
Yes. Yeah. Where you guys just were, where Joseph's soul was.
Okay. So there's that. Other option is we go back to Nagaroth and I don't know, try and fix stuff there. Which you
Father-
wanted. And
Father Bell and I wanted.
Heimlich probably wants myself still. So.
I think Although there are many choices in front of us, regardless of the path we take, we need allies. I don't think you can storm Heimlich's tower, Malekith's tower, without some extra men to back us. I don't think we can go negotiate with Manfred without knowing a little more of what he plans to do. We don't know if he was working with Tommen or working against Tommen. And so we'll just become another pawn in his game. Right? Yes, your father is captured. But that's just bait. Otherwise they just kill him. You know that.
Do we talk to Mr. Doucheba? And then go to Malekith's tower. Because he might help. Right?
That's true.
Or he might turn around and kill you. Kill us all. So my suggestion is, before you end up dead again, go hug your parents one more time. If you wish. Let's go back to Emily de Winter's estate. Our only apparent ally at this point, although her intentions aren't clear. Find out what we can about the whole scenario. See who we can take with us, or what we can take with us, whichever path we take, and go from there.
Perhaps even Save might be able to help us track
To,
away and get some information.
to go back, do we have to go past Malekith's tower?
No. If you're going back to the star, it's back towards the front line, through the front line, into Ostermark territory.
I see.
You said we don't know that Emily's Manfred's sister, heck, except for
Drea knows, yeah. And Drea knows that,
Bloodstone,
yep, and to resurrect him, she needs the blood of Lilfin.
But
Which
no,
was-
no one else knows that.
No.
didn't they
I
tell
remember
us
what we
to share it?
thought.
Well, we.
Oh no, sorry, she did. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know if she shared that.
asked
I
for
remember at one
something.
point we thought that Heimlich was trying to get me for my blood or something.
Yeah,
Jake's
because
trying
he
to kill
wanted you dead
Yeah.
as well, so Emily couldn't bring back blood. But I don't know if that, I can't remember if that was shared openly. It was definitely shared with Drea. I don't know.
Do you want to just put it out there, just to make it less confusing? Because I think we do know, but I don't.
Yeah.
Let me say. I think Lady De Winter will help us. She knows that the blood of an orphan is needed to resurrect Vladimir von Carstein. If we say Manfred is that, we don't know if he wants his father, but it could be why Heimlich is after you as well. Whether they want to resurrect him or not.
You would, from what you've read, like Manfred betraying Vlad, the strongest vampire ever, he definitely does not want his father back.
I know that, don't I? 'Cause
You
I
do
remember
know
that,
seeing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you're saying Emily's his sister or not? Okay.
I said maybe he knows. So I don't know if she wants that information shared.
Well, clearly she knows. She has information,
That's why I'm saying maybe it'll be useful to go back.
and then that's my fault. I started
Mm.
placing something forward for some reason.
Yeah.
All in favour of the star then?
Wait, 1 second. I really want to go back, but I don't know. I'm looking at my soul for a long time, so if he's like, I don't know, he can trace me or track me, I don't want to go back if it's going to put
Jace,
my parents in danger.
Worry.
let us worry about that. Isn't it time to see your family again?
If they,
Just put it this way, right? And I hear what you're saying, and it's a good point. But you could also go after your parents to bait you back. Your parents are probably safer where we are.
Is necromancy a form of possession?
It can be under certain circumstances, but usually no. Most, like 90% of the necromancy is controlling someone's
So
soul.
Jace's with Heimlich in his head and stuff like that? Is that...
It wasn't a direct because Jace still had free will,
Yeah.
so it wasn't a possession.
Okay, as long as it's safe. That's my vote. Aye.
This is for the star, right?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
No?
No.
Where you wanna go?
Well, Father Bell has sworn an oath, and I believe he wouldn't go to the star. He would go to fulfill that oath.
What oath has been sworn?
Well, he's Hammerguard to the leader of us tonight.
To save him. To free him.
But I mean, surely, like, we got lucky. Sigma helped us. Surely we can't do it ourselves, right?
And that's all I'm saying.
I,
It's
will
one
not,
thing at a time.
I just won't cast my vote until Father Bell can cast his.
Father Bell, how long are you gonna pray, man?
How long does it take to get back to Emily de Winters?
It's half a day to Malachus, half a day to Emily. You guys are in the middle.
And he's still got a half a day to pray.
Yeah.
You hear him turning a page. Moments repose. A man's word is his bond, Dario. Surely your father has taught you that as well as I have. I believe you made a commitment for a meeting. And he picks up his prayer again.
Was a day or time set?
No, but my word. My previous mission has been accomplished. That was the word that I gave.
How do we find this Lord Devash? Or was there a meeting space?
Yes, he told me to meet him at a certain place and then be carriage waiting. I forgot what place.
It was the pedal.
Oh, not that place again. Fuck that place.
Sorry, was that Lord Debash? Was that something that everyone knows?
No, that just happened between Father Bell
Yeah.
and
But
Well, that
it's-
takes
Or it's
yeah.
just been discussed?
Alright. Fine. We split the party. No, hear me out. Did we get the hint that he's praying for 24 hours?
You can tell by my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
how much is left.
Can't you just like speed read?
He's been at this for this long, and he's only got through half the book. I think he plans to get through the rest, right?
Right.
I think so.
Me and one other person can be back to Emily de Winter's estate and return here by the time he finishes. We'll have our information. And potentially travel together onto the next.
I just want to quickly add for your sake, Dario, as well. Maybe it's not the first thing that comes to his head, but it would for Bjorn and Father Bell, obviously being vampires, they're not going to be out until dusk again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I'll come.
Well, I wanted to go actually.
3 people.
Just joking.
Well, I mean, because if it's half a day there, half a day back, you're saying, right, with my phantom horse, super fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can make it there and back within half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would make it back at night, which is when would be an acceptable time anyway for them to meet with you.
So it has a speed of 100 feet, or 10 miles an hour, or 13 miles at a fast pace. So it's like incredibly fast.
Yep.
So you'd be okay with that?
Yep. And like, so Father Bell's going to finish at 3 a.m. anyway.
Yeah. Do we have sending stones? Oh, we've got sending, but like, do we have sending stones? Did we acquire some?
No. But you gave one to the captain, Maverick.
Oh yeah.
You
That
gave
was
one to
Haruka.
Dario, right?
Haruka gave one to Captain Maverick, and he gave one to Thalion. So.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Alright. Well, that's my proposition. If we're not all going, then at least let us go.
I'm in,
Yeah.
as long as I can go.
So the plan, us three go to the start.
Would you be able to keep up? You can transform into something
Come on.
and like sit on my shoulder or something.
That was a lame trick.
So,
So three of us go to the start, we acquire information, and hopefully, I mean, Lady Dawn's is very generous. I'm sure she'll give us some supplies.
Can 3 people fit on your horsey?
no, but she can.
No,
She has her ways.
I'll walk, Chase.
Thinking more about Dante. I mean,
Oh,
you can tend to
okay.
go, but
The mention of Dante, if you guys turn and look at him, you see he's actually no longer at the campfire. And as you say that, kind of panic for a second, you can,
Where is it?
you can just see him behind one of the walls, and he's squatted down, and you can hear the trickle of liquid as he pours out tea on Skrillex's grave.
Oh,
Mm.
man.
that's cool.
Skrillex's grave.
Where Ahmed
Oh yeah.
Where it is belongs.
Yeah.
in within the church.
That's cool.
Now, I say while we do that, perhaps you 4, maybe just 3, any information about Malachus Tower, anything you might know of the Waters of Icor, we can map it out, see our advantages, see how we can get you down.
I know the dwarves down in there.
Seems to be waterstone everywhere.
So you can blow that up.
Back in the day, we used to.
Go on.
I think I'll stake it out. Malcolm's daughter. See what I can find. See who enters. See who exits. See if I can fucking remember anything.
Okay.
And I'll wait for your arrival, I suppose.
Alright. We'll return as thus set us.
And if we don't, just
We will. Don't do anything stupid. Alright?
I won't do anything you wouldn't do.
I said don't do anything stupid.
Go team! Woo!
Alright, I'll cast my Phantom Horse.
Alright.
Young blood. That's it. I don't look back. I'm still facing sickness.
Is that in the scriptures?
Come.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull out the dagger that you got from Lady De Winter and hand it to you. You won't be needing this any longer.
Nice doing business with ya.
Just smiles at you and then goes back to its prayer.
Come on, you can say young blood, but you can't shake my hand. Come on, man. Don't leave me hanging.
Continues praying.
Damn it. Thanks, Father Bell. I really appreciate you. Can't wait to learn more about Sigma, huh?
Alright. With Phantom Horse cast, any rations packed and gear packed, you guys get ready to leave. Dante approaches you, Silver, pack on his back, spear ready, and wants to join you on the scouting mission of Malachus Tower.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've had a full night's rest, drank some tea. I think I slept.
It's a good opportunity for you to go see Doris.
Yeah,
Kathy?
you know, end of the world and all that. They can wait. Let's go. And he kind of deflects any more talk about them and starts
I get the hint.
marching out of the church. Not before picking up one of the leftover bananas from the from the statue.
I'm gonna fill my flask before I leave.
Yeah.
Of the water that's sitting on the stone, and I'm gonna pack as much fruit what snacks as I can.
Yeah.
Very well. Look after him. Stay safe.
You as well. You're not very stealthy in that armor, so good luck.
Jace is gonna try and catch up to Dante again. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where the hell do you think you're going?
No, scouting, nephew. Like, you know, the tower, the bad guys.
Oh, come on, we gotta go see Mum and Dad. There's room on the horse, right? We can squish up.
I don't say anything, I just...
He agrees.
I don't know how to ride the horse, nephew. Like, you know, all these years, I'm ashamed, but all these years, like, you
Hey.
know.
I was scared on my first time too. I rode this exact horse. It doesn't even bite. It's fine.
If I recall correctly, didn't we get on giant eagles at one point?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a giant eagle.
Yeah, but, like, nephew, you know, like, you know, it's okay, you know, I'll come and I'll see them, and, you know, I've got to, on the way there, I've got a friend, he's dying, nephew, like, oh my gosh.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name? Okay.
Come on,
Okay.
Dante. Come on.
No,
What are you worried about? She's your sister. We're family.
I know.
No secrets between family.
It's been a long time, nephew. You know? And you know, I can fight. I don't care. You know, I'm not scared of death. But it's just been a long time, and I don't want a crowd. I think, yeah, you know, I think you need this moment with them. I can wait, you know, it's not like I'm gonna die. Hopefully.
Why do you say it like that?
Alright. As long as you promise that you will come.
Yeah, like, you know.
The next chance.
Yeah, next year maybe.
Come on. Once we get his dad and everyone's all good, we save the world and stuff, probably we'll go back.
I promise. And as a subtle throwback to Skrillex. Okay, well, you know, maybe don't mention that I'm around, you know, just in case, you know.
Promise.
They probably think, you know, I've got you drinking special tea and stuff, but, you know, I'm a responsible uncle and I would never do that.
The most responsible.
He clearly hasn't realised what happened. He thinks he slept last night and his eyes are still bloodshot, pupils wide. Yeah.
Awesome. Alright. Well, love ya.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you're back!
I love you. Love you.
I'll see you in half a day.
Be safe.
You too!
With that, he kind of starts moving to the road and slows his pace for his captain to catch up.
Wait, before I leave, actually, did when I was talking to Vian, did he still have any of those weapons laying around, or are they all?
I don't know.
I would have packed them, but I'm sure you would have seen them. Feel free to ask me.
Does he recognizes any weapons?
They, although they were substantial, quite unique weapons, nothing like jumps out at you.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Well,
You're not looking to retire your sword. The blood of Viper and all that.
Yeah. See, it's weird. This sword. It didn't always have the gold tinge that you see. Not that I remember, but actually, I don't know how much I remember, so I'm just gonna.
No, you remember that part.
Right, yes. I assumed it wasn't made out of gold because that would be a terrible, terrible choice for me.
you haven't seen anything gold.
I don't remember where I got it from.
No, you remember. You remember that bit, your sword and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, it's
Is there something you want to tell me, Silver? Is it because I chopped off your head in another world?
Whoa. I mean,
Came off fairly easily, actually.
sure, it did for imitation, but believe me, the real thing, not so easy.
Well, tell me what you want to say, or we'll have to put that to the test.
Captain, stop lollygagging here. We got a mission.
Right.
Malika's tower.
Subtle.
How
We're
wide?
gonna go and look at it and count everybody that's there. Remember?
Maybe it's best if you I'm gonna approach him. Look, Dante, you clearly haven't had any fucking sleep.
Sorry, so you're gonna approach him. It's quite. That means you're walking away from the sanctuary. He's quite a bit away now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
Right. Hey. Go be a captain again. He needs a leader.
And I need to remember fucking hell. You know, when I was captain for a long time and I thought I was doing a good job. But it turns out I was no leader.
Maybe we can blow off their arms like they did yours, eh?
Right. See, I can't go fucking control that.
My father used to always say that a leader doesn't declare himself as a leader. He simply followed.
That's good advice. Anyway, better not be wasting day.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Sorry, that was yeah.
As you move off towards Dante, he's gone completely the wrong way, and you kind of have to yell at him and get him to come this way after a small argument before you tell him that's Malachus Tower, not the tree in the distance that he was pointing out, which is like thin.
Dante's the best.
And eventually he starts making his way towards
I don't know if I want Dante to come with me. Can I convince him to get some sleep and
Look,
maybe...
You know Dante's abilities, and he's probably the only person.
They're
you want with
enhanced
him.
when it's high.
yeah.
Do I... Because, like, traveling him in the past, like, with him in the past, he's kind of got us into some sticky situations.
He does, and he will, but that is, you know, being the captain and you employing him into the Wilderness Vical. That's something maybe that you've forgotten how to now, but that's something you've learned how to manage his personality with his skill and his value, and you know, knowing that you can harness it. And
Gotcha.
yeah, you again, anyone who's probably the one that you want by your side.
Do I remember how we used to work with each other?
You do, and
Okay. So then I still have that confidence.
yeah, it's nothing you're stressing too much about. It's just like you're actually probably like glad to have him back.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
This way.
All right, with Dante and Silver moving off, you guys you formed the Phantom Horse.
Apologies, I'm just going to do one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm going to just approach Dario. Easily. No, I'm going to approach him with the Greaves.
Okay.
I think this would go well with you. They will protect your legs because that's what Reeves do. And you need your legs steady when you take shots. Would you like them?
As Zara grabs them, I don't know what happened to you in there, but I hope you feel better.
Forgotten how to do this so much.
I can tell. Thank you, I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's good to see you again.
And you too. And then he'll put his hand up.
He'll clasp it. Alright.
Bjorn's seeing like he's obviously awkward, right? But the more you kind of have these conversations with him, the more you're like, and you know, seeing him up close and everything, and the way he's talking and the way he's not that he's lost confidence, but it seems like he has had no one to talk to for quite a while. The more that you're like, how long was this fucker actually gone, and what happened to him? You know, the obviously he's still half naked, the scars all over his body, the thick mark, bruise, permanent mark on his neck. You feel like he has lost a part of him, and you feel like you're maybe meeting him again for the first time. Like it's that awkward position.
Oh, wow. It's rough.
With that, you mount your phantom horse Jace, you jump on there, and Drea, you.
Either a wolf or a horse. I'm trying to figure out which one's faster.
Well, this phantom horse, we're going to go at full speed. Normal horse won't be able to keep up. Normal animal won't be able to keep up. So you're going to find a way to ride.
You can turn into a lizard.
Yeah, you
with
can like
adders.
attach to him. Yeah, that's cool.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Huh?
Did I do that?
Yeah.
I become a skink lizard.
That's cool.
And I just want to chat to Azra the whole time.
You you put Az down, you transform, and as soon as you start, he's lost for the few seconds while you're casting your spell, kind of reaching out for you, trying to figure out what's going on. And as soon as you turn, climb up onto the rock that he's on, starts squeaking, he immediately jumps around excited, and walks too far and walks into you,
Oh no.
and just is all excited as you hear these two chuttering away.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you pick them up, find somewhere safe for them to hold onto the saddle, or somewhere to. I'm guessing there's no saddle, but it's
No,
Can't we
you
just
can
hang on to
respond
you?
with saddle, yeah.
yeah, you
Like,
can
you
both
know
hang
how
on.
Azra
Yeah.
is on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Did anyone want to lend me a cloak or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
Jace is gonna pull off
Silver
his
won't.
jacket.
She does not forget.
No, I put it
Well,
back
actually,
in.
yeah, can
I can't believe you asked me.
Can I actually give
Dang.
mine off
Oh, I
Father
didn't
Bell?
ask.
Five belt,
And I'll whisper in his ear, I apologise.
Yep.
And as I take it off Father Bell,
Sigma spite you.
Okay, easy. All right. So still in tatters, but with a cloak now around you. You can conceal your weapons and your body.
I was gonna say Jace will pull off. Oh, actually, his jacket's probably this small. Don't worry.
All right, easy.
Yeah, because I'm small.
Oh my god, I love that I was skink.
Alright, let's go.
With that, you begin.
so I just want to do one thing.
Yep.
As they ride off, Dara's gonna put his fingers to his head and squeeze as hard as he can, and he's going to use message for the first time.
Oh, what? He learned how to do it back.
That's cool. Yeah.
And he says to Bjorn, "I'll be with you, brother," and he's going to summon his bird to fly with them for as long as.
That's so cool.
Nice. All right.
My response will be like, took you long enough to catch on.
And with that, you hear the thundering hooves as the dust kicks up, and not before long, the party is off in the distance. And as the hooves die away, you hear on the other side, "Hey, Captain, yeah, you remember that one time? That deer's got 2 head captains!" Before there's some kind of, it sounds like a weapon's drawn, and perhaps Silver trying to restrain Dante from chasing down this beast.
That's awesome.
God damn it, you've been in Savannah for how long? And you're surprised by this? Get it together, Dante.
Alright. You ride hard, you ride fast. And eventually, not for long, you reach the front lines and the trenches of the Austin Mark defense. Are you going to navigate around them, or are you going to try your chances without Dario and see if you can make
I
it
don't
through?
want to detour too far.
Okay.
But I don't want to barrel
Yeah,
straight
you
through
can
them.
detour enough to make it around the defense. Although there are sentries and stuff that would spot you, there's enough distance where nothing would be able to be done.
Okay.
You find a way through, picking your path carefully, and not before long you're back on open plain before it turns into dense forest and denser forest until the star appears on the horizon before you guys.
As fast as we are going, to me, like we're going like as fast as potentially both of you have travelled. I imagine it's a bit exhilarating for you,
Yeah.
but for Bjorn,
Like a roller
it
coaster.
feels slow still.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
cool.
Awesome. You finally rein in your horse, and as you begin slowing down, now within 10 minutes of the star. I need both of you guys to make a perception check for me.
Maybe. I'm still chatting away with Azra.
You can make one at disadvantage because you're quite small, distracted by Azra, and probably somewhere in your brother's beard.
19 minus 2.
Okay.
So that's 29.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's you, Jace, that spots the figure not too far away so you guys are in the forest at the moment, slowing down. There is the road. So remember the star is on the cliff. There's the road that leads up to the estate, and then it's forested on the other side. As it looms up above you guys, getting closer and closer, you see, as you begin slowing down, you see two men in the distance on the other side of the road. Making their way back from the estate. Not from the kind of outskirts of the estate.
Mm-hmm.
You see both these men dressed in witch hunter gear. Leather jerkins, swords at their waists, axes strapped on their back, and their wide brim hats. From this distance, you can't tell if they're official Templar witch hunters or if they're the simple induced mercenaries. But it does spark the question of potentially what has happened in these last few days with everything that's happened in Nagoroth. It looks like Emily is now being
Emily's now being what?
watched
Oh shit.
by the Inquisition. Perhaps not directly. Again, there's a good chance that they wouldn't be sanctioned Templars, but now without Father Bellador at the head of the church and the person that you that reports to you and that you had that conversation with
Oh yeah.
now has the full power of the Inquisition in his hands.
Alright, perhaps before they spot us, we will stealthily approach.
Yeah.
So, unsummon the horse and stealthily approach.
Still a skink.
Okay.
That's stealth enough.
Alright. You clasp the pendant of the star kind of to your chest now, obviously too big for you to wear. And as you make it to the edge of the forest and to the back of the estate where there's a smaller road that leads up, there is a handmaiden there, just coming back up the road with a basket washing at her hip. She hasn't spotted you, and you guys have enough distance between her to either sneak in behind her or approach her, whatever you like.
I'm gonna transform back actually. I feel like I can just approach. I'm gonna approach. Excuse me, madam. What is it?
She turns around and in a bit of shock as you
Yeah.
approach from the back road. You know, as anyone who is approaching should be spotted from the estate unless you're coming from Slovenia. Her eyes wide. Her hand goes straight to her chest.
I show her my star.
Hmm.
We're just here to see Lady de Winter.
Oh,
But
apologies, ma'am. You gave me a fright.
no, it's okay.
Have you guys made yourself known?
Sure.
She looks over you and is well aware of who you are.
Yeah.
Gives you a curtsy. We can enter through this way, through the servants' quarters, if otherwise a more proper entrance for you would be.
The servants' quarters is fine.
No, of course, my lord. And with that, she turns around, picking up her skirt again, and starts making it up the steep road. And before she gets to a gate, unlocks it, holds it open for you guys, closes it behind you, locks it again, and makes her way through a small garden before she approaches the door. Knocking on it, a serving maid opens it up, And she immediately tells her, please notify Lady Jewinter that she has guests, Andrea particularly, and
Are the Javales still here?
they are, my lord. Although she pauses and takes a second to look at Jace. The father is still in care and hasn't woken. The mother has improved, but hasn't been eating of late.
Go to them.
Thanks. Are they where we left them?
We've moved them to a bigger suite. I can show you if you
Yeah,
like.
please.
She steps aside so the rest of you guys can step through, and immediately one of them ushers you through and starts taking you through.
We'll follow the other one to Emily.
The other one leads you to the dining room with the glass and the observatory on the side, and tells you she'll just be a moment while they notify Lady Winter. Obviously, do you know that she's a vampire? Was that?
I honestly.
It seemed like so long ago.
Yeah.
I think you suspected it during the dinner.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah.
Were you there?
Wait,
was
what
the-
was
oh,
it?
No,
no,
you
We
never
were
was.
there.
Yeah.
That was Drea.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went back to get Doris at
Yeah.
that time.
Well, you know, Drea, that the lady would be sleeping at this time.
You can tell me whenever you like.
I'm just like, she can tell him because I don't want to ruin this friendship.
Okay.
Nice dining hall.
Should see the rest of it. It's actually
I
quite.
see my reflection in some of the glass.
You look like a peasant in a citadel,
But I don't stink.
but you don't stink. Prestidigitation, baby.
I mean, would you like to freshen up before we see her? We have been riding for a few hours.
Is there a washroom?
I mean, is there like a fast?
Yeah, there's plenty of suites in here,
Yeah.
and the lady would have offered in the time anyway that she can show you two suites so you can refreshen if you like while she gets Lady to Winterweather.
No. Fine.
After a few moments, then she comes back and will show you two separate suites right next to each other for you to freshen up.
I asked if there's anything that I can wear that's not rags.
She tells you that they'll be in your room by the time you finish bathing or washing up, whatever you'd like to do.
Alright.
As you're led to them, would you like to go to one Drea as well?
Yeah, I might, because I assume I'm crusted with blood.
And you know,
Thanks,
you've
Jace.
still got the the
Nice.
ointment that you've left, which is now like quite crusted
Plus,
and
you can,
is ready to come off.
we've done a long rest, so you can do berries and stuff.
Jace,
It's like kind
you're eventually led up a flight of stairs before the maiden stops between two large, beautifully carved doors. She looks at you, giving you a reassuring nod. Would you like me to let them know you're here?
It's alright. I think I've got it. I think it would be good.
Of course. She curtsies and quickly moves back down the stairs, leaving you in the empty hallway. You pause there for a second, hand on the elegantly carved wood. You hear nothing inside, and for the first time in ages, you hear the thumping of your heart, beating in your chest and loud in your ears. A nauseous feeling that you haven't felt forever tumbles your stomach. And the last time you remember you were this nervous to approach your parents is when you kept a secret from them about some lollies that you'd stolen.
Alright, before Jace goes in, he's just gonna have his hand on the door. Just gonna rest his head on it. I love you. I love you. He's gonna push him.
The large door, for its size, moves slowly and silently, and you open up to a grand room, one with a balcony. The large window lays bare with the curtains thrown back, and brilliant sunlight pours in. There's a cool feeling in the room, and you immediately, even though it's only been a couple of days, immediately pick up a sweet lavender scent of your mother lingering in the room. In the middle of the room sits a bed, a large queen-size bed. A door to the left enters the washing room, and right down the end of the room, on a small dais, or on actually quite a large dais that leads into the balcony, a smaller bed has been laid out. You see your father on the bed, basking in the sunlight, eyes closed, with multiple bandages around him. Small tables scattered around him hold water, milk of the puppy, some other ointments and things like that. And next to him, with her back towards you, sits your mother. Working on something in her hands, you can see her pull a needle through as she comes back, putting another stitch in, pulling it through before she flips it over, ties it off, and you see her biting it with her teeth before she examines her work, lifting it up in the sunlight. And you can see it's a replica of your jacket. Different patches of bright colours, beautifully stitched together to make this ornate jacket. But it's not made for the current Jace. It's been perfectly tailored, measurements taken from memory for a younger version of you.
Hey Mom.
She freezes. Arms still up in the air. Jacket in front of her. She slowly puts it down. Slowly stands up and turns around to look at you. She's as beautiful as ever, but you can see the harrowing effect of grief. Her eyes puffy from constantly crying at Doris's side. Her skin stretched tight against her face from days of not eating. Her hair, although put up, has been done so fastly. Beautiful golden locks escape from her braid. She looks like a princess though, dressed in one of Lady De Winter's many dresses. She stares at you from across the room, not speaking.
Jess is gonna slowly walk towards her. And if she will allow, it's gonna reach out for her hand.
There's quite a distance. The room is quite long and quite deep, and every step echoes in the room and gets heavier and heavier and harder to make as you make your way towards her. You can't read the expression on her face, and that scares you even more. And as you make your way slowly over, do you say anything?
I've come home. Check for yourself.
She puts her hand slowly to her mouth, quivering as she tries to stop herself from crying again. And at the words of "check for yourself," she breaks. She lets out a sob as she picks up her dress and leaps over the 3 steps, bounding towards you. And as she does, she crashes into you in a hug. And being the same height as her, you take her weight in your arms as she just breaks out into a sob. She hugs you so tight, you're scared that you're gonna die again. And as she sobs openly into the side of your face and on your shoulder, her whole body shakes as her knees give way, dragging you both to the floor onto your knees as she just cries and cries and cries, gasping for air between sobs, not even trying to form words as she just buries herself in you.
Just sobbing as well.
After a straight minute of this, she pulls off your shoulder, and as she looks you in the eyes, her face all wet, snot running from her face, she just attacks you with a barrage of kisses, grabbing the side of your head, kissing every part of your face, your forehead, your nose, your cheeks, your neck, and then she just cries even louder as she pulls you back in. You're not sure if she's holding you or you're holding her. The only thing you are sure is this is the happiest moment. These are the best tears that you've shed in a long time.
I miss you so much.
She can't even form words as she kind of like almost groans in pain, trying to tell you that she's missed you even more and how sorry she is. But although it's not words, you understand her groan of pain as she sobs even louder. Eventually, you have to pick her up before she like stops breathing herself from the amount of crying she's doing. And as you help her back to her feet, you're surprised to find that you feel a little bit taller than her. You're not sure if you've grown or she's shrunk, or the events of the world have just made you not into the boy that left, but now the man returning back to his mum. And she just buries her head into your chest. Every effort you do to kind of pull her away, to give her a second to breathe, she just forces herself back on you, crying as she does. And eventually you do the tedious job of moving her to a chair, putting her in there and calming her down. But she doesn't let you go. She doesn't let you sit. She holds her hands wrapped around your waist, her head buried on your abs, and she just holds you there.
I'm just gonna sort of take an arm around her. She's hugging it and just sort of kiss her on the head. And you want to sort of start guiding them towards Doris. And just sort of check over him as he walks toward him.
Your father is in the same state as you left him, unconscious in some kind of deep coma. And you can see that bandages have been changed regularly, and different strong perfumes and stuff lay bottled next to the table next to him that have been used to try and wake him up. And as you guys move closer, she kind of moves to him. My boy's back, Doris. You see, he's back. He's back. And she starts kind of brushing the hair on him, pulling it out of his face. Gives him a kiss on the forehead as she kneels there in the bed next to him. She takes in a deep breath before finally looking at you again. I've missed you so much. My whole world. Losing both of you like this. I'm so sorry, Jace. Forgive me. Forgive your mother for not knowing how to see past her grief and be the pillar of strength that you need. But I break, Jace. I'm broken without my loves.
I don't have anything to be sorry for. I should be the one apologising.
You are the most perfect son any mother could ask for. You have nothing to apologise for. She grabs your hand and pulls you down to your knees and puts an arm around you, pulling you close into her, and kind of pulls you both into Doris. Puts all of your heads together and just savours the moment of finally having all of you back together.
Just like our family meetings.
With that, she kind of rocks you guys, or rocks you back and forth. And you two, you know, there's no words that need to be said. And as you guys hold each other tightly, you just hear the door softly close. And as you kind of peek over your mother's shoulder, you can just see a plate of steaming tea has just been left on the table as one of the maids, without disturbing you, leaves.
I think this calls for some tea. Jace is gonna go and start pouring it.
Meanwhile, as both of you come out the bathroom or the washroom or whatever you guys were doing, a bath had been set for you guys with warm water. You both find a fresh pair of undergarments and clothes ready for you. Simple black clothes, and well tailored and well quality. For you, Drea, a dark, a darkish green dress has been laid out, also next to a blue one and next to a black one. Lady De Winter and her ladies understanding the freedom of choice.
And she's a black one.
Yep.
Bjorn, after his bath, would have ordered, or for his bath maybe, a pair of shears.
Yep.
And after staring at himself for a long time and just reliving what he's been through and what was said and what was hurled and the struggle to breathe and everything. It's another weight that he carries, but also another strength. And he's knowing he's not the same as he was before. He's gonna shave.
Shave what? Take all of it off?
No. He will trim his beard, but he'll keep it. So it'll just be a nice thicker beard. Actually, probably similar to what I've got, to be honest. Rather than just what was it called? Stubble. That's not thank you. And his hair's too much of a mess, so he's gonna cut it and cut it and cut it and continue cutting it until it gets to a point where he's satisfied. And when eventually he walks out, he will have the sides and back and the sides of his head shaved and just the center wrapped up in a long braid that comes down to his shoulders. Not like, like a
Yeah.
more of like a traditional braid.
Yeah, like a single. Yeah. As you both step out roughly at the same time, you both exchange glances with each other, acknowledging silently that you've both changed in your own way. Both been through traumas and both recognize those traumas. A maiden comes up. Oh shoot, a maiden was waiting there outside and lets you know that Emily De Winter is ready to receive you both in her quarters. If you guys are ready.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
Alright. Would you guys like to continue?
Yes, fuck yes.
Yeah? Okay. Just let me go pee then. I'll be back quickly. Because I need to
So good.
Oh,
Yeah, Jay.
I imagine Grantner kind of.
You
Valiant.
That's straight on the head though.
Right? Is it?
Think about who had that hair. Who originally
Your dad.
always said like,
No,
Danny
no.
boy.
Back in the day.
Oh, did he?
the only difference is his father. Sorry, it was when we, if you remember, you guys made such fun of it, but when we first went to, I think it was in Seymour even,
Yeah.
or maybe somewhere else, and I was like, is there a bathhouse? And he goes, where
Oh,
a
yeah.
bath? And he, because he was going from being barren, where he's like, you know, losing hair grow out to now he's travelling and he has to be a warrior again, so he went back to his warrior stuff, where he kept his beard, shaved the sides and the back, pulled his hair back, but it was more like a bun that he would wear it.
Yeah.
Whereas Bjorn has, I think they call it like a horse braid or something, like
Yeah.
where it's like one thick, like it's
It's
tied
like the
back,
Viking.
and then one thick braid to about the centre.
Like
of his
Beyond the
shoulders.
season 4.
Yeah. It's like the Vikings
So who?
Beyond season 4.
and Vikings.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
So Beyond.
I actually was gonna.
Mhm.
I actually was gonna ask for that sword, right? But there was two things that stopped me. One is I need to ask the DM something, and two, you're going to Emily de Winter, which is a vampire, and it's a vampire trapped in a sword. Maybe you should know something about it.
Yep. Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's good.
You're both led down the flight of stairs into into the main foyer of the building, and you being a little confused at where you're kind of being led. Dre, obviously you've been down there before, as the maiden turns left, leading you through another set of larger doors, into another room, to another set of stairs, leading down. The further down you go, you realise the walls get rougher as you're now underneath the estate. And as you finally stop in a room that has no natural light in it, the maiden tells you just to wait here for a second as she moves up to another set of doors, slips in quickly before opening the door again. The Lady de Winter will see you now. You make your way across a room lavishly furnished, yet you can see, Björn, that it is rough stone cut from underneath the mountain. And although carpets and tapestries adorn the floor and walls, you can clearly tell that you're underneath it. Nevertheless, you move through the open doors into a room with a large table spanning the middle. Multiple candles line the walls, where in all four corners, large candle holders with 20 candles sit there dripping wax onto the ground. The room is adorned with bookshelves and tapestries and maps, and the desk itself in the center of it, it looks like a workspace that has been cleared.
Sorry, I'm just going to point out real quick, the whole time my sword's floating with me,
Okay.
because I still have no sheath for it.
Entering the room with the table run parallel to the room, you see Emily de Winter with her back to you, studying a painting on the wall before she turns around as she hears you guys step in. Dressed in a similar fashion dress to yours, Drea, but in a dark green, with a low cut. Her dark black hair is put up into a bun behind her head, with strands rolling elegantly next to her face. The dark hair, a stark comparison to her blue eyes and her pale skin. She studies you both as you step in and the door is closed behind you, before she smiles at you, Drea, and moves around the table walking around the table to greet you. As she comes in close, she holds out her hands before pulling you in close and giving you a kiss on the cheek. It's good to see you, Andrea.
You too. Hope we didn't disturb your slumber.
No. A friend is never a disturbance. She looks over Dre's head to Björn, and there's a quick glance from your sword to Fafnir's coil to your beard and hair
Oh shit.
before
And I'm a little bit tense. Like as I look relaxed, but
he's great.
also on the poise of striking.
okay.
This is my brother, Bjorn.
So yes, with that,
Have you?
I think so.
Oh, never mind.
Lord Orphan,
On my way down here, Lady De Winter, I thought to myself, only a vampire or a dwarf would reside in a room this low. And you are no dwarf.
Straight to the point, damn.
she shares a glance with you, a smile on the edge of her lips. How quite perceptive of you, Lord Orphan. She puts her hands behind her back.
It seems my sister is even more perceptive than I am. Or yet, perhaps, never mind.
That's right.
Yes, I'm no dwarf, Lord Orphan. I am what you fear I am.
It is not fear.
Then why the tenseness?
One does not fear the prey hunts.
Oh, damn.
Might we all sit down for this conversation?
She smiles at you. A smile closed-lipped and one that shows the utmost confidence. Please do, she says, as she moves back around the table, sits in front of you guys, before pouring you guys each a cup of wine.
I'm afraid we don't have much time, so let's really get into the reason why we came. We're hoping you could help us with some information, some knowledge we're after.
My brain is yours to pick, Drea. What is it that ails you?
What do you know of Heimlich?
Necromancer.
The last time I was here, you called him Manfred's dog.
Surprised I didn't call him anything worse, but yes, that's right.
I would
As
understand.
ancient and powerful as, well, the most powerful non-vampiric necromancer in Slovenia. Indeed, his allegiance lays to Manfred von Carstone. Is that all you needed?
It's what we knew already. We're after. How did he get so powerful?
They say he was a bright kid, one of the leading students in the College of Magic. A curious mind, of course, and unfortunately, with a curious mind comes a ambition to go through doors that are better kept locked. It's rumored that he used the school to continue his studies while pursuing his own curiosity. And one night, when his father and mother didn't attend, of course, they themselves being quite high status, people quickly began to talk and went to see what all the fuss was about. They were found, both dead. Their throats had been slit in their sleep, yet they weren't laying in their bed. After a inquiry from the Inquisition, it seemed they had been like this for days. Blood was found all over their manor, as if they had been going on with their lives, moving around the house, doing chores, tending to horses. They had been killed by their son, Heimlich, and used as puppets for him to practice his dark arts. From there, Heimlich had fled. No one had any idea where he'd gone. He was searched for all over the capital, through the school. Nobody could find him. For years, he was assumed either dead or fallen to some other worse fate, until in recent years, and as she pauses, by recent I mean about 180 years ago, he was re-emerged, a low necromancer, stalking the fields of Slovenia, one by one taking down necromancers, raiding their towers for knowledge and more power, artifacts and bodies, until eventually he conquered the Nine.
The Nine?
An order of liches, they called themselves of Nine, the most powerful at that time, had utmost control over Slovenia, perhaps the most after Vlad von Carstein. One by one they fell, and one by one they were raised into his service, a mockery and the status of the power he had begotten. From there, Heimlich travelled all over the old world, the grey mountains to the edge of Norska, and eventually it's rumoured he found the grave of Krell, his henchman. A grave marked by wards, marked to keep Krell there, so the Chaos Gods wouldn't be able to bring him back. Of course, Heimlich found a way to break him out, along with the thousands of dead that lay around him. Catastrophic battle with the dwarves. And from there, he marched into Bretonia, multiple times attacking the abbeys there, convinced there was some kind of artifact that he was looking for. A staff.
Shit.
Yeah.
Either raising the abbeys to the ground or being repelled by the united forces of the Bretonian Knights, each time falling back to Slovenia to regain his might and try again. He was always a fan of Manfred, of course admiring someone of greater strength than him. Now, with the rumours of the last years, Manfred returning, I suppose he's had a rude awakening that he is no longer the strongest, and thus has been leashed by the vampire count himself. Heimlich's allegiance is as fickle as his hair. What's left of it, anyway. But Manfred is not one to be trifled with. As long as he is stronger than Heimlich, Heimlich will follow him and heed the call of his whip, like the dog he is.
And in which direction does Manfred whip him?
To his own ambitions, of course, that which I'm not privy to.
I noticed the Inquisition was keeping an eye on your mother.
Very perceptive, you say. Yes, they've been coming and going since the incident in Nagaroth. After that night, with Father Bellador's disappearance, seems like a new head of church has been appointed by the new appointed elector count, Tom.
So he's been appointed as the elector count.
Quite favourably so. Apparently, after the raids, people were mad, and the higher class holding most of the money in favour of the elector count obviously hold court, and in that court accused Dario of being the head leader, a ploy to usurp the throne from his father.
Isn't it up to the Church of Sigmar to elect an account?
It is, but during the court, apparently Lord Valendir went mad, turning on his son Tommen, saying this was all his ploy. Rumours are he even tried to kill him. Tommen had him arrested, to put it kindly, and taken to bed, where he's currently trying to recuperate his thoughts. And without the first prince, Tommen has stepped into the shoes of Elector Count.
And what is the status of Nagaroth? Well, all of us don't know.
Well, Nagaroth is firmly held by Tommen. It seems like the young prince, with all his parties and all his balls and all his money spending, has made many alliance. Not only in Nagaroth, but the majority of Westermark. Many now believe that his father is unfit to lead. The heir to the throne is nothing but a scandal, and Tommen is the best fit.
Or what of the war with Telebach land?
Still ongoing, yet if I may be as perceptive as you have been,
We can try.
a number of envoys have been seen crossing the border of late, disguised of course, making their way to the capital.
So he plays both sides. Do you know if Tommen is connected to Heimlich or Manfred by extension?
Once, perhaps, his allegiance lay elsewhere now.
Where do your allegiances lie?
To those in my care, first of all. And then to myself.
We were to try and stop Heinrich. Would you help us?
Nothing more would please me than to see that dog beg. But is there a plan? We are talking about the most powerful necromancer here.
This was our first step in our plan. Get as much information as we could and then
I see.
The rest of our party have a standing invitation with Lord Dushi. What was his name? What was his actual name? Debage.
Lord Debage of the Crimson Court.
you know of him.
Manfred's right-hand man. And have they accepted?
They have given their holy word.
It's pending offer.
She elegantly scoffs in disbelief. And for the first time ever, both of you see her kind of not flustered, but on the edge of it. Well, he cannot be trusted. Manfred.
So you see, we have a problem. Which is why we are trying to gather as much information as possible to know how to survive.
I see. Well, what is the ultimate goal here?
Have we ever spoken to her about the other chosen?
Not really, no.
Our father.
Oh, you have, remember?
Oh yeah, I
when she
have.
told you.
That's-
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
right,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, she does know.
Yes, she's familiar with him.
Also, we've had a few chats then. Great.
It's what women do, my lord. We gossip.
Hmm.
She like looks to you
Yeah.
with a sly look on her face.
Yeah.
Well, then you would know that ultimately it will bring about the end of the world, as we know it. So, the ultimate plan is to defeat him. But,
There are a few steps we have to take before that.
and we need an allied empire.
I see.
Just as before, the world must come together to defeat him. So you see, Manfred, Tommen, Heimlich, all of these lordlings playing at power. We have to find a way to end their dispute. Or help one over the other.
She nods. Do you know how Tommen has won the majority of Westermark already?
Money, wealth, bribery.
No. The High Lords already have that. They have all the money to feed several of their generations for ages.
Conquest.
It's even worse than that. I assume you know he is also the Black Mace.
Mm.
What is one thing that someone like him can provide to all the supposed elegant and pristine and holy nobles of Ostenmark that no one else can without shame.
That's messed up.
Entertainment.
And pleasure. See, our young Prince Tommen has already chosen his side in this war. And that side is under your father.
I knew it.
He offers them all the most exotic ecstasies and pleasure in the world, without anyone knowing. This took years, of course. Most try it out of curiosity, thinking there's no harm in it, and quickly get caught up. Soon, man divorces wife, for he finds no pleasure in her. Wife entertains herself with children because she finds no pleasure in her husband. Water turns to alcohol. Alcohol turns to narcotics. And soon they are so dependent on him that whatever he says, whatever his wishes, they will follow.
So he's an agent of chaos.
A plaything himself, yet he doesn't know it. So I agree. We do need a united empire. But one of your largest pieces is already corrupted.
And if we cut the head off the snake?
Well, you would need another head to replace it.
And if we were to help Manfred?
Manfred cannot be trusted. That is not an option. And give me an insight check.
Advantage
Very good to know.
19 minus 2. 17. Second time.
You can see that this, even the name of Lord DeBarge and the mention of Manfred, stiffens her. And although she's a cool, calm, collected person, she bites at those words, and there is emotion behind it. It's not simply politics for her.
Can I put 2 and 2 together, or?
Yeah.
This seems personal for you.
She smiles at you as she picks up her goblet. I suppose so, yes.
So, Tolman is an agent of chaos. Manfred
Not to be
cannot be
trusted.
trusted.
And Heimlich is a dog.
Armlick's a dog. So can we trust you then, Emily?
Well, that's up for you to decide, isn't it?
Well, from the way I see it, you're stuck here between two opposing forces, and sooner or later you'll either be forced to join one or be destroyed by both. Much like our position.
Then let me ask you this. Would you be on the side of my destroyer? Or would you be on the side of a family that once called you brother?
I have my family. And I do not need anyone else to call me brother.
So then we are mutual friends until our ambitions tear us apart.
But we have told you all our ambitions, and you have not revealed yours.
She looks at you, Drea. A look of almost she's seeking your counsel. She knows if Bjorn were to get up now and strike it down. Although with all her vampiric powers, she, never was a fighter, was never skilled in necromancy like her brothers. And as you've put your trust in her, she's asking you now, can I put my trust in you and in your brother? Like, am I going to get hurt right now if I reveal who I am?
My brother is quite perceptive, but it is a show of his intelligence. He does think things through.
She nods at you slowly. Very well then. My ambition is to seek revenge for my father and for my mother. And I believe to do that, I must avenge them by killing my brother, Manfred. For it was he that stole the ring off my father's hand. He that forced him into a battle that without that ring led to his death. It was he that, knowing that would happen, my mother would grieve and grieve to a point where she would take her own life. I was robbed of my parents by my brother, and my ambition is to see him pay for it. I have no quarrels with the folk of Austin Mark or any other citizen. Of course, those who lay their hand unjustly on those not strong enough to protect themselves, I take action against. But I do not wish to see this world burn, just like you. I will help. and I'll help without asking for anything in return. Because although many, including yourself, Lord Ulfenmind, view me as a monster, as a heresy, or something that should be put down, I am as human as everyone else.
That is something we can agree on. For the record, I've never viewed you as a monster. You are what you are. And we all live and die by our choices.
Words spoken exactly like your grandfather. Now I would know.
Apparently so.
He was my bodyguard for many years.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Seems like he did a pretty good job.
More than you know. He perhaps had more of an influence on me than my mother and father did.
Alright. Then you have our trust. And you clearly... I mean, I've read the history books, but you've lived it yourself. We need more power. We need more allies. Do you have any hidden armies, weapons, anything that'll give us an edge?
I have a force of 100 men, yet unfortunately they are here to guard my ladies. For, well, as Dre knows, most of them have suffered at the hands of men. I would like to consider Father Bellador as an ally, yet his own forces are either hanging in the streets of Nagaroth or in the dungeons, despised as heretics and acquainted with the uprising. I see right now our only choice is to win the hearts and the minds of those that once they know the truth and are like-minded like us will follow us. Well, not follow me or you, but follow a prince that would have their real needs in mind. Although Tommen has won most of Ostermark, there are still many prominent lords and ladies with armies, resources and money that do not take too lightly to this whole scandal that is going on. I'll go speak to them. I'll start there.
Alright. I for one know that the manipulations of chaos can be thrown off if one tries hard enough.
Something I've never had to struggle with, thanks to being dead.
What of the uprises?
There are few and far in between. Enough to mount a threat, but not enough to challenge Tommen directly. And although some of them see reason, they are lords and ladies, and most of them would just fight amongst each other. I believe with the prince, a hand that could firmly grasp them and bring them together, we would then have a start of a fighting chance. As for my brother, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but he could be an asset. But I know for a fact, like he betrayed my own father, as soon as you don't meet his needs, he will turn on you. Should you wish to take that route on, I have warned you. But it could be an option, although a fragile one be it.
We should get going.
Jace is here too.
I was made aware. I presume everything went well then? Mostly, as she kind of raises an eyebrow to your face.
Quite like them.
As fierce as ever. Freya.
Thank you. It's kind of the reason we came to you. We, barely escaped with this soul. To, destroy Heimlich. Take a lot more.
We'll make sure he keeps it. Heimlich is a psychotic cunt, if I may.
You may.
And he won't let it go easy. That boy will be hunted for as long as Heimlich lives. Shit. If only for the reason that he doesn't like to lose.
Well, I have a feeling Jace doesn't like to lose either.
He is a fighter. Just like his father. And his mother.
What of his father do you...
My lady tend to him night and day, and we cannot seem to wake him from his slumber.
Is it unnatural then?
With the amount of damage he's sustained, I think it's just a lot for one to deal with. But if his son can die and then hunt his soul back, then I'm sure that's a trait that's been passed down from his father.
My lady, do you have anything of Ragnar's?
She smiles at you. I do.
I would very much like to see it. If it's not too much trouble.
She considers you for a second. Sophie, and the maiden steps in. Bring me the dagger. Sophie courtesies and leaves. Although Ragnar was my appointed bodyguard, he made sure that I also knew how to defend myself. And after the night of, on the eve of the siege of Outdorf, he came to me in my tent, reminded me of the lessons and the stances he showed me, and handed me a dagger, his dagger, and made me swear that even if it was a friend or a family member, I would not let them take advantage of me. Sophie comes back in, brings the chest around, and it's a simple wooden chest, long, and in the dimensions of a dagger. It looks ancient, although obviously well kept somewhere. The wood is old and dried, cracking in some places. She smiles at it, and as Sophie leaves the room, she slowly opens the lid. On the inside, on some white silk, lays a blade about this big. For a dagger, this would easily fetch 10,000-15,000. The dagger itself, on one side, you can see as she picks it up in the candlelight, steel. It's a double-edged sword, but one side is steel, and the other has been coated with silver. The pommel itself, beautifully elegant gold. On either side of it, either side of the handguard, a bat with its wings outstretched stands. That goes to a black wrapped leather handle, and the pommel a wolf. My father had made for him to protect me from mortal and immortal. And she gingerly avoids the silver side of it for placing it back down the box, turning it round and sliding it across the table to you.
That's so cool.
And we'll study it, and then we'll pick it up by tip and pommel. Wait, silver doesn't have any on this sun-pierced bow?
Yeah, but she would burn just from it though. But you're if you cut from it.
And I'll just sort of twist it between my hands. And I grab it, throw it, and then catch it. Assuming it's well balanced.
Beautifully. And you can see, although made by her father, you can see clear signs, evident signs of early Dullinger kind of culture into it. Simple things, but just the way that the handle bevels in next to the hilt, so you've got a nice area where your finger falls into it. It seems like a simple thing, but no Empire sword has that. They're completely straight, where every Dullinger sword has that at the end. Just a way of making swords, and like seeing it on this, you just thought that's how swords are made, right? But you can see like the early variations of it and how it's been passed down and refined through generations. The blade itself, not only is it double-edged, but the point it comes to and the groove in the middle to lighten the weight of it without taking off from the strength or from the infrastructure of it, just taking enough metal to lighten it. Again, seems like a simple thing, and that has been adopted. But you go into swords of the same era, you wouldn't see that. Where on all Dullinger swords you would see that. And it's an heirloom. It literally is an heirloom in your hands.
It's a beautiful weapon. I hope you've at least used it a few times rather than just kept it in this box all these centuries.
Unfortunately, yes. We've before I had the money to recruit men to do my killing for me. I had to defend yourself when your grandfather was no longer around. Both sides of the blade were used.
And I'll put it back in the box. Thank you.
She almost looked like she was going to say something more, but just nods with a polite smile.
Shall we find Jess?
There is one more thing. Where's Azra?
Oh, in your breast pocket.
I'm gonna gently like get him out. Could you have a look at him? Could he be like Master Lowen?
My poor darling. And she stands up as he like reaches out and crawls onto her hand, and as he immediately smells that it's not you, you can see him turning around, and she's like, it's okay, and she settles him, and as she brings him up to the candlelight, looking into his eyes. What a hero. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do for him, Trey.
Nothing at all.
But know this, as she smiles at him. He has lost his eyes, but gained so much more. And as she gives him a little kiss, she reaches back across the table and gently places him back into your hands.
Well, it was worth a try. Should we go?
I think so.
Thank you for your help, even on such short notice.
Pleasure is mine, Drea.
Until we meet again.
Stay safe, and if you are to ride out now, rations have already been made for all three of you. And remember, if you need me, use it.
Oh,
Another secret.
One just for the ladies, I'm afraid.
he's just jealous he doesn't get one.
Or perhaps one day he'll carry this dagger in its place. She gives you a sly smile. With that, she goes around the table, hugs you, gives you a kiss, holds you for a second, and for the first time, you've noticed that she's very proper, right? But she's never curtsied to you. And as she locks eyes with you, she curtsies. Well done.
Damn.
Oh man. Alright, I will give her my best bow in the diligent fashion. Just one more thing. If I was to offer you a vial of my blood, did you do with it?
If you're asking, then you already know. But a vial wouldn't be enough.
How much would be?
She pauses for a second, looking you dead in the eyes. All of it.
Hell no.
I don't trust you that far. Reluctantly.
With that, she stands there smiling at you guys as Sophie opens the door, closing it behind you guys as she begins leading you back through the winding stairs back to the surface. New friends have been made, and you feel like in this trifling time, Lady De Winter is the only person you guys feel that you can trust. All her motives, she's open about. And at the end of the day, in her own words, I am, as human as anyone else. You can tell that was genuine. Armed with information and a plan to take to the group, you guys move up to find Jace and eventually move off. But for tonight, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you guys so much for watching us. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We'll upload all of our episodes up to YouTube. Impacted Object, thanks for commenting. If you do want to see previous episodes or the full this full episode, they do get uploaded to our YouTube channel at Mythic Wyrd. So stay tuned there if you can't watch us live, but if you can, we'll see you here next Friday. Once again, thank you again, and we'll see you here next time to continue our story. Good night.
Peace. Well, that was a lot.
Hey guys, it's Abraham here, aka the DM for Mythic Wyrd. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Keep spreading the Mythic Wyrd.